Good evening. Do we have so we have the Ajo jail on? We have the Spanish interpreter and the state.
Yes, Your Honor. This is the Spanish court interpreter. Thank you.
All right. And Joe, can you hear me?
We can hear you, Judge.
All right, good. Let's get started. All right. Hey, sir, can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Yeah, it's Larry Scott Watson Jr. The date of birth is 8/10/73.
All right, sir. Thank you. So I just pull something up here real quick. All right, Mr. Watson, good evening. This is the time set for your initial appearance. You're being seen here this evening based on a single charge of domestic violence, disorderly conduct with a firearm. You do have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and I'm going to appoint the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you. The attorney seated to your left is going to be representing you for purposes of this hearing. So if you have any questions or concerns, please address them to your attorney before saying anything out loud. I have reviewed the interim complaint as well as pretrial services report and the state's recommendation, which is for pretrial services release. Anything to add from the state?
And the only thing that we would add is that there might be a need for a third-party custody release for mental health.
All right.
And Judge, that's actually being coordinated now, I believe. He was actually just interviewing with pretrial services right now, so there should be a CRC petition going on.
Any comment or argument on the? I am inclined to release inclined to pretrial services. Obviously, any CRC referrals beyond what we're talking about here at this moment. But do you have any comment on conditions of release?
Yes, Judge, I'd like to note that the victims are not objecting to contact and are hoping that you can return to their residence with them.
Yeah, yes, and I did note that. So I'm not going to order no contact. However, one, I am going to release Mr. Watson to the supervision of pretrial services in order that he submit to any monitoring or treatment as directed. I'm going to order that he not consume or possess any alcohol or illegal drugs. And Mr. Watson, I'm also going to order that you surrender any firearms you have in your possession to law enforcement within 48 hours of being released, and that you not possess any firearms or weapons unless otherwise directed by or allowed by another judge. I'm going to set this matter for a preliminary hearing on July 11th at 1:30 in the afternoon. So, Watson, you're going to be released. Please make sure and keep in touch with, obviously, whatever other matters you may have pending. Please make sure and keep in contact with pretrial services as well as your attorneys. And please make sure and attend all hearings in this case. Otherwise, and you can end up right back in custody.
Okay, thank you.
And that's all I have for you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
What's that? Have a seat right here.
Sir?
Good evening. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Jose Ignacio Armenta, 7970.
Excuse me. All right, Mr. Menta, good evening. This is the time set for your initial appearance. You're being seen here this evening based on, a single charge of domestic violence assault that was alleged to have occurred earlier this afternoon. Reminding you do have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you. You also have the right to an attorney, which may be appointed to you by the court based on your circumstances, or you may obtain at your own expense. Let me just take a look at something quickly. Okay. So in your matter, sir, I've reviewed pretrial services report to get some more information on you. Based on the information provided, I am inclined to release you on promise that you will appear at an arraignment in this case on July 1st at 10:30 in the morning. Can you do that, sir?
Yes, sir.
And I'll release you on your promise to appear. Set this matter for an arraignment in front of Judge Renee Garza on July 1st at 10:30 a.m. I'm also going to order that you not consume or possess any alcohol or illegal drugs, commit any acts of domestic violence, that you surrender any firearms you may have and possess no firearms. Surrender any firearms to law enforcement and possess no firearms or weapons unless otherwise allowed by another judge. I'm also going to order that you not have any contact of any kind with the alleged victim in this case, to include going to their place of work or residence.
Your Honor, that's my home, though.
Yes,
It's my home where she stays at.
sure. And unfortunately, I don't have any information from the victim, but I'm going to make that no contact order. I'm going to put that no contact order in place, but I will allow you to return to the home to gather any personal belongings with a police escort. So essentially, when you are released, if you need help finding alternate housing, there are resources outside of the jail that can assist you, and the jail personnel can direct you to them. If you have any personal belongings you wish to collect, you're going to call the police at 311, the non-emergency line, arrange for them to be present with you while you gather your personal belongings, and you'll leave with the police. Otherwise, you're not to go back to the residence where the alleged victim resides, and you're not to have any contact with the alleged victim. If you have any concerns or questions about this,
my phone is there, my keys are there, my truck is there,
right? And if you need to
my
collect
work clothes, everything is there.
and if you
Yeah.
want to collect those items, you'll contact police, arrange for them to be present with you, collect them, and then leave. You're not to go back to the residence otherwise. If you wish to ask for these conditions to be changed, you can do so at your arraignment on the 1st. But otherwise, those are going to be the conditions that I'll release you on if you promise to abide by them. Can you do that, sir?
Yes, sir.
And that's all I have for you, sir. You'll be released later this evening. Please make sure and attend your hearing on the 1st, otherwise a warrant could issue for your arrest. Thank you. Good evening, sir. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Donald Gene Hadley, 10/25/1963.
1 second. Good evening, this time you're just hearing you're being seen here based on a criminal charge of a charge of criminal trespassing out of the Green Valley Justice Court. On this matter, sir, I'm going to order you be released on promise you'll appear on June 26th, so 4 days from now, in the Green Valley Justice Court for an arraignment. Can you do that, sir?
Yes.
I'll release you on your promise. I'll set the court date for June 26th at 8:30 in the morning at the Green Valley Justice Court. I'm also going to order that you not have any contact of any kind with the alleged victim in this case, to include going to the incident location. That's all I have for you, sir. You're excused. Thank you.
Well, sir, have see you in the mail. Johnson.
Good evening, sir. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Stephen Anthony Johnston, 10/16/1984. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. All right, so this time set for your initial appearance. You're being seen here on charges of criminal trespass in the first, I'm sorry, domestic violence, criminal trespass in the first degree. Remind you do have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you. So let me check one quickly. Appears to be the only case you have pending. This matter, sir, I'm going to set a hearing for you on July 29th at 1:30 in the afternoon in front of Judge Wendy Martinez at the Tucson City Court. And I'll release you from custody, and I'll promise that you will appear at that hearing and that you'll abide by the following conditions. First, that you will possess no alcohol or illegal drugs, that you'll commit no acts of domestic violence, that you will have no contact of any kind with the alleged victim in this case, to include going to their place of work or residence. And lastly, that you'll abide by all laws and all these conditions. Can you promise you'll do that, sir?
Yes, I promise.
Okay. Then I will release you on that. I promise you will appear and you'll abide by these conditions. So, sir, you'll be released later this evening. Please make sure and keep copies of the paperwork you'll receive from this hearing. And above all else, do not miss your court hearings. Otherwise, a warrant could issue for your arrest.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Good. Okay.
Good evening, sir. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Robert Burnett Stewart, second, November 22nd, 1968.
All right, sir, good evening. This time set for your initial appearance. You're being seen here this evening on a single charge of domestic violence assault alleged to have occurred earlier today. Remind you do have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you. You also have the right to an attorney that may be appointed to you by a court based on circumstance, or which you may obtain at your own expense. Also, you are presumed innocent of these charges until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, and I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty on your behalf. I'm going to set a hearing for you on July 22nd at 2 p.m. in courtroom 7 at the Tucson City Court. And I will release you on promise that you will appear at that hearing and that you'll abide by the following conditions. First, that you'll possess and consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, commit any acts of domestic violence, have no contact of any kind with the victim, and not go to their place of work or residence. Now, do you understand that you reside with the alleged victim in this case?
Yes, it's my daughter, and I don't know. I'm a caretaker of my mother. This happened days ago. I just called him today to make a written report, but I will abide to what you say. I'm sorry.
Again, sir, I don't want to get too far into the details of your case. I just asked that because if you do have personal belongings at the victim's residence, I will order that you be allowed to return one time with a police escort. So if you have any personal belongings you wish to gather, you can do so by, one, calling the 311, the non-emergency police line, arranging for a police escort to be present with you while you gather your belongings, and then leaving with police and not returning unless otherwise allowed to by the judge assigned to your case. Now, can you promise you'll do all those things, sir?
Yes, sir.
So I will release you and promise that you will appear at that hearing. Also want to advise you, sir, that you do have a right to attend all hearings in your case, and including a bench trial where, you are presumed innocent, and the burden of proving you guilty is on the state, and that burden is to prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. However, if you fail to appear at any hearing, not only could a warrant issue for your arrest, that hearing could go forward, including a trial where you could be found guilty without the opportunity to defend yourself. Additionally, if you're unable to be sentenced within 90 days of being found guilty at a trial because of your absence, you may lose the right to appeal that conviction. Do you understand all that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Bottom line is make sure and attend all your hearings. And that's all I have for you, sir. You're excused. Thank you.
Your Honor, this is our Spanish speaker.
The interpreter is ready, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. Good evening. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Muy
José
buenas
Carlos.
tardes, le dice el juez. ¿Me puede decir su nombre completo y también su fecha de nacimiento?
José Carlos Castro Urola, septiembre 6 de 1989.
José Carlos Castro Burrola, date of birth September 6 of 1989.
Thank you, sir. Castro, you're being seen here this evening based on a charge of domestic violence disorderly conduct.
Señor, usted está compareciendo aquí esta noche por una acusación de violencia doméstica que es alteración al orden público.
Correcto.
Remind you have the right to remain silent and anything you say can be held against you.
Le recuerdo que usted tiene el derecho de permanecer callado. Todo lo que diga puede y será utilizado en su contra.
In your case, I'm going to set a hearing on July 29th at 1:30 in the afternoon in front of Judge Wendy Million of the Tucson City Court.
En su caso, señor, voy a fijar una audiencia para el 29 de julio a la 1:30 de la tarde con la juez Millian en City Court, en el Tribunal de la Ciudad.
And I will release you from custody provided that you promise you will appear at that hearing.
Y voy a ordenar que usted lo liberen y que quede libre de custodia el día de hoy, siempre y cuando usted se comprometa a comparecer ese día a esa audiencia.
And that you promise you will not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, and that you will not commit any acts of domestic violence.
Y que usted me tiene que prometer que no va a consumir ni poseer ninguna bebida alcohólica ni ninguna droga ilícita y ya no va a cometer actos de violencia doméstica adicionales.
You promise,
Prometo.
sir?
Prometo.
I promise.
All right, sir. Pretrial services indicated that the alleged victim does not object to you being released or having further contact with you.
Sorry, Your Honor. Señor, los servicios previos al juicio indicaron que la presunta víctima no se opone a que usted tenga comunicación con ella.
So I'm not going to order no contact with the alleged victim.
No le voy a prohibir el que tenga contacto con la víctima.
However, I do want to additional allegations could result in you being taken back into custody and could adversely affect this current case.
Pero solamente le quiero recordar que cualquier alegato adicional de violencia doméstica, usted volvería a quedar bajo custodia y le afectaría negativamente en este caso.
That's all I have for you. You're excused. Thank you.
Es todo lo que
Gracias.
tengo para usted y se puede retirar. Gracias. And Your Honor, can we check with the jail to see if there's any more Spanish speakers?
Jill, I don't have anybody on the list. Is that correct?
That's it.
All right. The interpreter is excused. Have a nice evening.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good night. Have a nice evening.
You too. All right. Good evening. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Anthony Abarca, August 26, 2006.
One second. All right, Mr. Abarca, this is the time set for your initial appearance. You're being seen here this evening based on several felony charges related to discharging a firearm at an occupied residential structure, domestic violence burglary in the first degree, domestic violence criminal damage, and domestic violence disorderly conduct involving a firearm. You have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and I'm appointing the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you. The attorney seated to your left is going to be representing you for purposes of this hearing. So if you have any questions or concerns, please address them to your attorney before saying anything out loud. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. I read the pretrial services report indicating that Mr. Abarca is a 4 and 4 respectively on the NCAFTA scales. And there does appear to be input from the victims related to conditions of release and to further contact. Also see that there was only an indication of a misdemeanor charge of domestic violence disorderly conduct with the same alleged victims out of the Marana Municipal Court. County Attorney's Office recommendation is for a bond of $100,000. Anything further from the state?
Your Honor, I will note that while the court mentioned it is one of the same victims, there is an additional new victim and the victim's minor child that were present during the incident. And in the case that he is in the Marana court on, it's, I believe, his brother and his mother who are the same victims.
Thank you. And defense?
Judge, weighing towards Anthony's release, he is incredibly young. He's 18 years old with no prior felonies or prior convictions. He's indicated to me that he does have housing away from the victims at his friend's house. Neither of the victims object to his release from custody, and they do, but they do, not want him to return home. If you're not inclined to release Anthony this evening, Judge, we would ask for a significantly reduced bond than $100,000, something more reasonable like $1,100, should secure his presence at future court dates and balance the factors associated with it, given his youth and his indigency. Thank you.
Oh, very. Wait, as this company?
He is gainfully employed, Judge Wayne, is not being a flight risk.
Thank you. I am going to impose bond of $25,000 cash, and further order that if bond is posted, that Mr. Barca be put under the supervision of pretrial services and submit to any monitoring or treatment as directed. I'm also going to order that he commit no acts of domestic violence, not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, surrender any firearms he may have to law enforcement within 48 hours of being released, and that he not possess any firearms or weapons. I am going to order that he also not have any contact of any kind with the alleged victims, to include go into their place of work or residence. The matter is going to be set for a preliminary hearing on July 1st at 1:30 in the afternoon at the Pima County Justice Court. All right, so Mr. Barca, if you are able to post bond, please make sure and contact pretrial service as soon as you are released, and keep in touch with them as well as your attorneys. Otherwise, if you fail to keep in touch with them and fail to attend any hearings, a warrant could issue for your arrest. And that's all I have for you, sir. Thank you.
Thanks, sir. That's what they.
Bill States.
Good evening, sir. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Andre Pilsky, 31288.
All right, thank you, sir. Mr. Bilski, you're being seen here tonight for several different matters. We're going to take each in turn. The first is related to an interim complaint of shoplifting alleged to have occurred yesterday, 21 June. The next involves, and again, also I'm sorry, hang on. And so the next involves a warrant that was issued for your arrest by Judge Sue Canasta, the Pima County Superior Court, for a narcotic drug possession alleged to have occurred on December 8th, 2024. Third is a warrant that was issued for your arrest by Judge Alexander Ball of the Pima County Justice Court, related to a charge of shoplifting, failing to appear, and criminal trespass in the third degree. And lastly, a charge of possession of drug paraphernalia alleged to have occurred earlier today. To remind you, you do have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you. On the felony matter, I am going to appoint the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you, and the attorney seated to your left is going to be representing you for purposes of this hearing. So if you have any questions or concerns, please speak with your attorney before saying anything out loud. All right. On the felony shoplifting matter, state's recommendation appears to be bond $500. Anything to add from the state?
Nothing in addition to the forms, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that there was a pretrial services report indicating 6 out of 6 on the NCAA scales, and at least 3 instances of felony criminal history dating back to 2008. Yeah. And defense.
Judge, if you're not inclined to release Mr. Bilski, I just want to note that, for 10 years since his sentence ended in that 2013 matter, he had no history. And his history now seems to be limited to drug possession and shoplifting. So if you are inclined to give a bond, Judge, we would be asking for that $500 bond.
All right. I will impose bond of $500 and a further order that if bond is posted, Ms. Bilski be released to the supervision of pretrial services and submit to any monitoring or treatment as directed. I'll order that he not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, and that he not return to any of the incident locations or the incident location noted, and have no contact with any alleged victims. I'll set the matter for preliminary hearing on July 1st at 1:30 in the afternoon. All right. All right. The next case will deal with the warrant from the Superior Court. State any argument or additional matters you want to say for the record?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Defense?
We'd just be asking for a nominal bond.
I'll honor the bond requested by Judge Canast for $500 cash and order the same conditions apply, that he be put under the supervision of pretrial services and submit to any monitoring or treatment. And I'll set a date for criminal arraignment on June 27th at 1:30 in the afternoon. I'll also quash the warrant. Next case. The warrant that was issued by Judge Ball. Since I'm holding you on the other ones, I will likewise impose a similar bond so that you can receive time credit if that is applicable in your case. I'll also set a hearing in this matter for June 23rd at 1 in the afternoon. And that'll be in front of Judge Crystal Ann Foster. And the last matter, the new charges of possession of drug paraphernalia. I'll set it for the same date, June 23rd, tomorrow at 1 p.m. in front of Judge Foster. All right, sir. Got a couple different cases going on. Please make sure and keep in touch with your attorneys. Please make sure and attend all hearings, otherwise a warrant could issue for your arrest. And that's all I have for you. You're excused. Thank you.
Flores.
Flores. Did you skip Brown?
Brown is getting continued till getting out.
Oh, it's continuing some more.
Who's next?
Your Honor, Brown Journey refused. Is there any way we can continue her?
Already did.
Thank you.
Thanks, Judge.
All right. Good evening. Can you tell me your full name and date of birth?
Marlene Yanis Flores. 12/24/78.
Mr. Flores, good evening. This time set for your initial appearance. You're being seen here this evening on 2 charges of unlawful use of a means of transportation and burglary in the 3rd degree. Reminder, you do have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you. You also have the right to an attorney in the County Public Defender's Office to represent you. Sorry, 1 second. Seems to be a mix-up of paperwork. That's okay. Okay, that's not fine. All right.
And Your Honor, I apologize. Are you missing a recommendation from the state on this one?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, I was just looking. I had some computer troubles earlier, and it looks like this one didn't get attached. And for the court's record, the state would be asking for a $5,000 bond, and I will get a form submitted after the fact. I apologize.
Not a problem.
Thank you.
I did review the pretrial service report. Note there was a 3. Mr. Flores was rated a 3 and 3 respectively on the NCFTA scales, and that there was a felony criminal history dating back 2016 involving possession of narcotic drugs and dangerous drugs, respectively. State's recommendation, if I remember correctly, $5,000. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything additional? Any additional comment you'd like to make?
Nothing from the state.
Thank you. Defense.
Judge, weighing towards Mr. Flores' release, I'd like to note that he has not had any new charges since that 2016 matter where he successfully completed probation in 2019. That indicates that he would be a wonderful candidate for pretrial services supervision. He is a lifelong Tucsonan, so he doesn't pose a flight risk. And as the court correctly notes, His priors are limited to drug possession. There's no violent history and there's no property history other than the current crime. If you're not inclined to release Mr. Flores, Judge, we'd be asking for a much more reasonable bond of $1,100, given that he is his primary income is solely through disability. Also noting to his cooperation, or at least potential success on supervision, it does appear from the interim that he fully cooperated with the officers in this case.
Thank you. I am inclined to release Mr. Flores in supervision of pretrial services. I'm going to order that he submit to any monitoring or treatment as they direct, that he possess and consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, have no contact with the alleged victims in this case, to include going to their place of work or residence, and they have no contact of any kind with any co-defendants. I'll set the matter for a preliminary hearing on July 11th at 1:30 in the afternoon. And that should be it. So, Sir Flores, you are going to be released on condition that you will cooperate with and maintain contact with pretrial services throughout the pendency of this case. So after your release, please make sure and contact them as soon as possible, as well as your attorneys, and keep in contact with them so you're up to date on the events of your case. That's all I have for you, sir. Thank you. You're excused.
Okay, thank you.
Alex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good evening. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Jose David Gonzalez Hernandez. 42703.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Gonzalez Flores. This is time set for your initial appearance. You're being seen here this evening on a couple of different cases. Looks to be one felony charge of possession of a drug paraphernalia, which was alleged to have occurred earlier today. The second involves a warrant that was issued for your arrest by Judge Erica Corneo of the Pima County Justice Court for based on alleged charges of disorderly conduct and failing to appear. And another warrant that was issued by Judge Victoria Steele related to a single charge of disorderly conduct. Reminder, you do have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you. On the felony matter, I'm going to appoint the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you, and the attorney seated to your left is going to be representing you for purposes of this hearing. So if you have any questions or need to talk to somebody, please talk to your attorney before saying anything out loud. Pretrial services noted 5 and 5 respectively on the NCFTA scales. Did note there's no, doesn't appear to be any felony criminal history, and that the defendant appears to be steps diversion eligible. County attorney's recommendation is pretrial services and possible steps court evaluation. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything bad?
That's what we'd be asking for as well.
Okay, easy. And I'm sorry, is your client interested in being evaluated for steps?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And is defense willing to waive time?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Steps page. All right. All right. So, Mr. Gonzalez Fernandez, I'm going to, on the felony matter, release you to the supervision of pretrial services in order that you submit to any monitoring or treatment they direct. I'm also going to order that you not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. I'm going to set a hearing for you on July 1st at 9 a.m. at the Pima County Superior Court so you can be evaluated for the STEPS program, which may result in your case being disposed of in an alternate manner. In case that doesn't go forward or you're unsuccessful with that evaluation, I'm also going to set a preliminary hearing for you on August 8th at 1:30 in the afternoon at the Pima County Justice Court. All right. We'll move on from that one. And let's deal with the felonies. Or I'm sorry, with the misdemeanors. On both of your misdemeanor offenses, I am going to parse the warrant in the case and set a hearing for you on July 1st at 10:30 in the morning in front of Judge Renee Garza. Actually, make sure. Steps hearing I said was 9 a.m. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
She'll be there all day, so you can do 1 o'clock. We'll make sure we get to be at 1.
Okay.
I'll send them to as well.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Given the you'll have the hearings on the same day, I'm going to set your arraignment with Judge Garza for July 1st at 1 p.m. And that'll be for both cases. Likewise, I'm going to order the not possessing too many alcohol or illegal drugs and have any contact with the alleged victim to go into the place of work or residence. All right, sir. You'll be released later this evening. Please make sure and keep in touch with your attorneys. Please make sure and keep in touch with pretrial services so that you're aware of the developments in your case. And please make sure and show up to all hearings in all your cases. Otherwise, a warrant could issue for your arrest and you can end up right back in jail. All right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. You're excused.
Harris. Harris.
Sorry. Good evening. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Brittany Harris, 22389.
All right, thank you, Ms. Harris. You're being seen here this evening on a charge of possession of a narcotic drug and possession of drug paraphernalia. I want to remind you, you do have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and I'm appointing the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you. The gentleman seated to your left is going to be representing you for purposes of this hearing. So if you have any questions or you need to talk to him, please direct questions to your attorney before saying anything out loud. Take a look at the pretrial services report for Ms. Harris, indicating that there is a pending Superior Court matter in CR 2025-1841, where there's likewise released to the supervision of pretrial services. State is requesting a no bond hearing. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor. And Your Honor, just to clarify, I do believe she is still steps eligible and
Yeah,
would be happy to have that. Okay, yes.
I was just going to ask about that. And regarding either the no bond or the steps hearing defense, any comment?
I don't think I have much for a basis for an objection to the no bond hearing. I would note that it is 15 pills. She's likely going to have an APO hold in the morning, regardless. So I would have been asking for a nominal bond of $1,100.
No. And how about regarding steps? Is your client interested in being evaluated for steps? And feel free to talk with her.
If I could just have one moment. So she'd like to be evaluated. She'd like the opportunity.
Okay, thank you. So, Ms. Harris, the state is requesting, in case like this, the state can ask that you be held without bond. And I'm going to honor that request and set a no bond hearing for you for June 27th at 2:30 in the afternoon. I'm also going to set a steps hearing for you to be evaluated for that program for July 1st at 9 a.m. And in case that hearing doesn't go forward or you're not successful in the steps program, I'll set a preliminary hearing for July 11th at 1:30 in the afternoon. And it appears we also have a separate city court case related to a charge of possession of drug paraphernalia. I will release you on this matter since I'm holding you on since you're being held no bond on the felony. And I'll set a hearing in this matter for August 8th at 9 a.m. in front of Judge Verena at the Tucson City Court. And I'll likewise appoint the Tucson City Public Defender's Office to represent you. Right. All right, Ms. Harris, that's all I have for you. Please make sure and keep in touch with your attorneys. Again, you're going to have attorneys pointed to you for the county and from the city. Please keep in touch and make sure you're at any hearings in this case. Thank you. You're excused. Good evening. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth? Good evening, sir. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth? It looks like you're muted.
Yeah, sorry about that, Judge. That's me.
Sorry, sir. Third time's a charm. What's your name and date of birth? Set your initial appearance. You're being seen here this evening based on felony entry complaint with charges of unlawful use of a means of transportation, burglary in the third degree, possession of drug paraphernalia, and possession of a narcotic drug. Remind you, you do have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and I'm appointing, actually, 1 second. This appears to be a companion case to one that was previously seen this evening. So I'm going to appoint the Pima County Legal Defender's Office to represent you. The attorney seated to your left is going to be representing you for purposes of this hearing. So if you have any questions or concerns, please make sure and talk with your attorney before saying anything out loud. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. All right, pretrial services report rated Mr. Martinez as a 4 and 4 respectively on the NCAA scales. Doesn't appear to be any other pending holds. And there does appear to be 2 prior felony convictions for possession of narcotic drug. And looks to be a federal matter. State's recommendation is for $5,500 bond. Anything additional from the state?
Nothing additional, Your Honor.
And defense?
Judge, weighing towards Julian's release this evening, as you noted, he does have minor criminal history. It's non-violent. He did cooperate with the police in this matter, and he does have housing in Tucson. He's been a resident here for the last 15 years with employment. So those weigh towards his release. If you're not inclined to release Julian this evening, we would ask for a much more reasonable bond, given his indigency of $1,100.
Thank you. And I will impose a bond of $2,000 secured in order that if the bond is posted, that Mr. Martinez be released to pretrial services supervision, and that he not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, and also not have any contact with any alleged victim or any co-defendant in this case. I'm going to set the matter for a preliminary hearing on July 1st at 1:30 in the afternoon. All right, sir. And that's all I have for you this evening. You're excused. Thank you. All right, good evening. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Christy Wink Milcher, 5/29/1979.
All right, ma'am. Good evening. This time step for your initial appearance. You're being seen here this evening on a couple of different matters we'll go through in turn. First is a felony matter related to possession of a narcotic drug for sale, possession of narcotic drugs, and possession of a dangerous drug, alleged to have occurred earlier today. Oh, I'm sorry, possession of drug paraphernalia. My apologies. Remind you do have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and I'm going to appoint, the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you. Pretrial services noted, Miss. I'm sorry, I don't want to mispronounce your name. How do you pronounce it again?
Milcher.
Milcher, thank you. Ms. Milcher was a 4 and 5 respectively on the NCAA scales. And it doesn't appear to be any felony criminal history. State's recommendation is for a $10,000 bond. Any additional comment from the state?
Nothing additional, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right. Defense?
Judge, as the court correctly notes, Ms. Milcher does not have any prior felony history. She does have longstanding ties to the community. She's been here for 12 years. If the court is inclined to hold Ms. Milcher on some sort of bond, we would ask for a much more nominal bond of $1,100, given the indigency and her employment.
Thank you. I will impose a bond of $2,500 and order that if bond is posted, that Ms. Milcher is released to the supervision of pretrial services. I'll set the matter for a preliminary hearing on July 1st at 1:30 in the afternoon. All right. That's the felony case. We also have a misdemeanor case out of the Tucson City Court related to a warrant issued by Judge Jeffrey Klotz on April 19th of last year, and this involves charges of criminal trespass in the 3rd degree, theft, and failing to appear.
In this matter, I'm going to set a hearing for you on August 8th at 9 a.m. in front of Judge Hale at the Tucson City Court. And I will appoint the Tucson City Public Defender's Office to represent you in order that you not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, have any contact with the alleged victims to include going to the incident locations or any of their workplace or residence. All right, ma'am. That's all I have for you. Your excuse, thank you. Good evening. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth? It appears to be on mute.
My fault again, Judge.
Not a problem. Good evening, sir. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Paul David Navarrete, 11/27/1976.
Thank you, sir. Good evening. This is time set for your initial appearance. You're being seen here on charges of possession of a dangerous drug, possession of a narcotic drug, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Remind you do have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and I'm appointing the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you. The gentleman seated to your left is going to be representing you for purposes of this hearing, so if you have any questions or concerns, please talk with your attorney before saying anything out loud. Note, pretrial services indicated that there is a parole violation warrant and a hold from the Department of Corrections. And state's recommendation was $1,100 bond and possible steps court evaluation. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Anything to add from the state?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Thank you. Defense?
That's about what we would ask for as well, Judge.
Okay.
You're already being held no bond.
Yeah, I know that.
So they're going to screen you for diversion, so you're able to like police capacity and barely dismiss those defendants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Nice.
We're going to screen you for it, so you're going to qualify them. It's a good chance.
Okay. So, Counselor, is your client interested in being screened for steps?
Yes, Your Honor.
So I will impose a bond. Given the DOC hold, I'll impose the nominal bond of $1,100 and further order that pretrial services supervise Mr. Navarrete if he is released. I'll set a steps hearing for July 1st at 9 a.m. and a preliminary hearing for July 2nd at 1:30 p.m. So, sir, you're going to be held because of some other matters going on, but you will be seen at the by the steps hearing judge on July 1st. And in case that doesn't go forward, you'll have a hearing the following day. So please keep in touch with your attorneys and make sure you're up to speed on everything that needs to be you need to be preparing for your hearings. Otherwise, that's all I have for you, sir. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Andrea. How much was this for?
1,100.
Yeah.
Good evening. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Andrea Marie Stinnett, February 1st, 1986.
All right. Mr. Good evening. This time set for your initial appearance. You're being seen here on a single charge of possession of a dangerous drug. Remind you, do have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and I'm appointing the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you. The gentleman seated to your left is going to be representing you for purposes of this hearing. So if you have any questions, please talk with your attorney before saying anything out loud. You understand?
Yes.
Review pretrial services report as well as the state's recommendation. State is recommending pretrial services release and possible steps court evaluation. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, I am inclined to release your client to pretrial services and schedule a steps hearing if she is willing or wishing to be evaluated.
Sounds like a good plan, Judge, and we'll waive time for the preliminary.
Thank you very much. Sorry. October 6th. All right. So, Ms. Stinnett, I'm going to order you be released to the supervision of pretrial services and order that you submit to any monitoring or treatment that they direct. I'll order that you not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs and set hearings for you for the steps of hearing evaluation on July 1st at 9 a.m. And just in case that doesn't go through, I'll set a preliminary hearing for you on August 6th at 1:30 p.m. So please, once you're released, make sure and contact pretrial services as well as your attorneys and stay in contact with both so you're up to date on the status of your case, okay? All right. Thank you very much, ma'am. You're excused.
That's right. They're going to get you some program. She complete that, but dismiss it to money against you. That's a good deal. All right, best of luck.
Good evening. Please tell me your full name and date of birth.
My name is Jordan Thompson, 120103. The 1201-2003.
Thank you very much, Thompson. This time set for your initial appearance. You're being seen here on two different felony complaints. The first involves burglary in the third degree, alleged to have occurred on June 21st, and the other, the other complaint involves burglary in the third degree, robbery, assault, and possession of drug paraphernalia that was alleged to have occurred on June 22nd. You do have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and I'm going to appoint office to represent you. The attorney seated to your left is going to be representing you for purposes of this hearing. So if you have any questions or concerns, please talk with your attorney first before saying anything out loud. You understand?
Yes, sir.
I've reviewed the pretrial services reports, noting there was a 5 and a 2 respectively on the NCFTA scales. I do note Mr. Thompson's age, and that there is evidence of 2 prior felony convictions, one for aggravated robbery. Robbery rather, and then a aggravated assault on a peace officer. State's recommendation is $10,000 bond. Anything else from the state?
Yes, Your Honor, we are asking for the $10,000 bond given the coordinated efforts and multiple victims, businesses, and partners that were involved in the incident.
Thank you. Defense?
Judge weighing towards this release, he is 21 years old with a 2 on the FTA scale. If you're not inclined to release him, we'd ask for a more reasonable bond of $1,100 given his indigency.
Thank you. Yeah, based on the facts as alleged and the evidence I can see in the pretrial services report, I will impose a $10,000 cash bond in order that if it's posted, that Mr. Thompson be released to the supervision of pretrial services, and that he surrender any firearms and possess no firearms or weapons during the pendency of this case, that he not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, and that he have no contact of any kind with any of the alleged victims or with any co-defendant in this case. I'll set the matter for a preliminary hearing on July 1st at 1:30 in the afternoon at the Pima County Justice Court. And that should be it. So, Mr. Thompson, I'm going to hold you on a bond. If you do post that bond, please make sure and contact pretrial services and keep in contact with them as well as your attorney. And above all else, do not miss any hearings in this case. Otherwise, a warrant could issue for your arrest and you can end up right back in custody. And that's all I have for you, sir. You're excused. Thank you. Thank you. All right, good evening. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth? Sorry, you are muted. Got it.
Secor Desiree Thompson, September 2nd, 1998.
James Thompson, this is the time set for your initial appearance. You're being seen here this evening based on charges of conspiracy, burglary in the third degree, and robbery. To remind you, you do have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and in your case, I'm going to appoint the, sorry, one second, the Pima County Legal Defender's Office to represent you. The attorney seated to your left is going to be representing you for purpose of this hearing, so if you have any questions or concerns, please talk with him before saying anything out loud. Read pretrial services report, as well as the state's recommendation for a bond of $5,000. Anything additional from the state?
Your Honor, again, she was the getaway driver in the alleged incidents. The other defendant was held on a $10,000 bond, and the state is asking for a $5,000 for her participation in this crime.
Thank you. And defense?
Yes. So, Judge, Ms. Thompson is asking for release to pretrial services, waiting towards her release. She does have children that she is worried about. She has housing with her grandmother, and she is a 2 on the failure to appear scale. If you're not inclined to release Ms. Thompson, I think given her involvement, or alleged involvement in these cases, a much more nominal bond of $1,100 should be sufficient.
Thank you.
Excuse me, Judge.
Well,
Hang on, why don't you talk with your attorney before saying anything?
All right, Judge, we're good to go.
No, thank you. And I did neglect to mention that there was at least 3 prior felony convictions noted dating back to 2019, 2021, 2022, respectively. I'm sorry, anything further from defense?
Nope, that's it from us.
Thank you. I am gonna impose a bond of $5,000, cash secured, and order that pretrial services supervisor monitor Ms. Thompson if bond is posted. I'll order that Ms. Thompson not have any contact with the alleged victim, to include going to their place of work or residence, and that she have no contact with any co-defendants in this case. I'm going to set a preliminary hearing for July 1st at 1:30 in the afternoon. And ma'am, that's all I have for you. Thank you very much. You're excused.
Thank you. Have a good day. Touch. I mean, the secure bond means I had to put up.
The matter in Ajo, is that a misdemeanor?
Yes, I believe. One second, let me just verify. Yeah, this does appear to be a misdemeanor offense, so I don't think we need your services any longer, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks, Judge. Thanks, Marty.
And Your Honor, may I be excused, or do you need me here as well?
No, you don't. You don't need to be here. If you have something better to do, please feel free and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you. You as well, Your Honor.
All right. Evening, sir, can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Nolan Ryan Manuel, 11/21/84.
Sorry, 1 second, sir. Give me just 1 minute. Thank you. 1 second, sir. Missing a little bit of paperwork I just need to take a look at before we go forward. Oh, yeah, please. Okay. Okay. I think I can see the. I believe can see the case. All right. Sorry, sir, we're having a little bit of trouble with the paperwork, but I believe I just found the case here that we're going to be talking about involving the charge of assault. And there was a failure to appear. Warrant was issued. On that matter, sir, I'm going to go ahead and release you and quash the warrant. I'll schedule a hearing for you at the Idaho Justice Court on July 8th at 9 a.m.
Thank you very much, sir.
Not a problem. Check one more thing. Hang on.
Easy, thank you, man.
Okay. Likewise, I'm going to order that you not have any contact with the alleged victims, to include going to their place of work or residence. I'm also going to order that you not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. All right, sir. And that's all I have for you. Thank you very much. You're excused.
No.
Okay. Yeah, we're done. Oh, that was weird. I mean, I don't know. I guess I got this one. Yeah, I guess I just did the. Trust me, there's no. No, we're done. That's a lot. That back up here.
But I appreciate your patience. Do you have a,
So, yeah. Exit back. Some judges don't like them. That's a cool section right there.